Game number 5, ladies and gentlemen, Arabian Basin. It's been an absolutely crazy series thus far. Both players, 2 wins apiece here, and it's definitely going to be a fun map. This one here, we haven't seen anyone going in with the Egyptians yet in this series. I feel like this is an Egyptian map a little bit. Very defensive, has a fantastic second town center. Very easy to control the center with, say, ISIS or something. We'll see if that gets picked here or not. But we're going to be jumping into the game here and see what these guys want to go with as the very final game here. We see in the bottom of the map, in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Shelty. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. We see Ulysses. The map, yes, it is Arabian Basin, but what is this matchup? Shelty's got to be kicking himself just a little bit here. He knew that Hades was remaining here for Ulysses. He knows that that's a difficult matchup for Zeus, and he knows that Ulysses, while he can play the Atlantean, he might pick Gaia here, and Zeus can be a good pick against Gaia. He knows that Hades has to be the choice, or a choice. So you really have to think what gods might be able to win against both Hades and Gaia here. And he goes for the Zeus. Maybe Zeus can find the victory here. We'll have to wait and see. Arabian Basin is a really, really defensive map. Super easy to wall up. Super easy to defend against Centaur. Super easy to get a second town center as well. So this might need to be for Shelty. Some form. There is a world here where maybe you can go for like a 4-minute, 2-second advance time. Try and prevent this town center from going up. Put full pressure onto this location here. Like build in the middle of the map or something, build some stables or some military buildings in the middle of the map, go after this town center. Like Athena cavalry maybe might be an idea. I don't think that Centaur are going to work here, but I imagine Shelty might just try and do it for the sake that it's the meta as you were. Sometimes the meta is not the way to go, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to put the strategy into his head before he does it. But Ulysses is definitely going to be very happy about this one. If you take a look over here onto this town center, he's got himself only 4 gazelle there. So this is a little bit of a low hunt spawn on that location, whereas this town center in the middle of the map gets a lot more hunt, as well as all the hunt that's over on this location over here. So when it comes down to it, I do like the idea here. The more and more I look at this map, the more I'm liking Athena cavalry from the Zeus side of things. From the Hades here, I really want to see a really fast second town center. You've got to get this town center up as fast as you can. 4:30 advance time, send 10 villagers forward. Ajax, Chiron, 10 villagers forward, get the town center up. Seems incredibly important to secure this location, which will push, we will be seeing walls already coming up here for Ulysses in the early stages of the game. He's already got 3 villagers on gold, so he's definitely already accepting that he's going to be having a later advance time here. And he's also grabbing this hunt early here. So we'll see how that's going to go. I think that Shelty might actually find himself liking this this map a little bit, because he's going to be able to control all of the middle of the map, getting all of the hunt, which should allow him to have a fun time here in this game. As you do see the Kotoska boss scouting through here, he will see the walls here, and this will have to change any sort of strategy that that Shelty wants to go for. If he sees these walls going up, realizes he's probably not going to be able to break through that location, he's going to have to walk through here. Well, it's not that big of a deal to walk through this location here, but I imagine the walls are going to go up there as well. But Ulysses is basically dictating exactly what he wants to do in this game already. As we see some relics on the map, we've got the Sistrum of Bast here. And on this top location, we do have the Pygmalion statue. That's such a big relic. That is such a big relic. I feel like of all, if I could take one relic out of the game, because it's so game defining and game changing, it would be Pygmalion statue. Pygmalion statue basically dictates that it's not, your raiding is basically not an option for one player in the game. So it changes the game completely. It changes Centaur from being a 3-hit to being a 4-hit or a 5-hit on villagers. They got up to like 90 something HP. So it's 4 or 5 hits. I can't remember exactly. It's 93 HP. It's absolutely insane. We do have Shadowfax saying Ra gets that relic in every game. Yes, exactly. And I too would change that upgrade. It's bonkers. Bonkers upgrade. Anyways, we do see a little bit of a problem here for Shelty, unfortunately. His villager kind of sitting idly by here, not chopping down the wood. There's another house coming up here, and I don't think Shelty's going to realize that. He's going to have a little bit less wood than he otherwise. This is really, really bad here for Shelty. The villager doesn't go idle either. He just sits there. Oh. He was on 10 wood. What's that? Oh, he gets hand axe and he's going to go back into that same... You hate to see it here as Shelty does hit the second age over here. He's gone through Athena. He's going to be sending the Minotaur forward. And it looks like a Townsend. What is he doing? Ajax, Jason coming through here. Shelty, no. He is building a military academy. I don't know if the military academy is going to work here. The reason why hoplites don't work in this situation against Greek is because the Greek player can just go mass Toxotes, and it's so hard to break it. It's so hard. But if you go Hippocon, Athena Hippocon, mass Toxotes don't work anymore because you can just run the Hippocon in, use Restoration, and then if your opponent uses Restoration, you actually end up coming out in front here. Shelty trying to break through here. This town center is 100% going to be going up before the walls get broken down. Remember that not only that, there are also Hades walls here. I wonder if this is going to be like an underworld play of some variety from Shelty. I'm starting to spit out crazy strategies now because I'm not sure what's going to happen here in this game. As the Chiron going to come through, break down this Minotaur. I'm surprised to see no bolt onto that Chiron just yet as Shelty going to be retreating back. The hoplites coming through here as well. Is that villager? The villager is still idle. You hate to see it. It's one of those bugs that just ends up happening as the Minotaur gets sniped down. That's just Jewel. Well, I mean, one is that the Hades has got the advantage there. He should have bolted that Chiron yonks ago. But that's also Ulysses' micro and attention to detail here in this game, managing to snipe that Minotaur very, very easily. The town center is now up. We see the villagers onto the storehouse. I imagine an archery range will go down very, very shortly here for Ulysses. He's getting Vault of Erebus. There's plenty of gold mines over here for Ulysses to get. Not only that, he can also throw down a sentinels here as well, as the hoplites moving forward into this location here, going to start taking down villages. There's no wall segments set up just yet by Ulysses, as there goes the sentinels. The Odysseus trying to range down that Minotaur from afar, not able to quite get it to retreat easily here, as the sentinels will push these units back, and we will be seeing Shelty taking this opportunity to grab a town center. So a very, very different approach to this game. This means that Shelty is going to have full access to the map here, and his military academy is up. The villager finally starts working there as the trees get finished up. But yeah, I like this play from Shelty. He's going to get full access to the map. He's a little bit behind on villages, but not by that much. In reality here, he's probably 3 villages behind total here. Roughly 3. When is he starting the town center? Yeah, 2.5 villages behind in total, which I think is absolutely fine for the win of taking the middle town center and making sure that Ulysses doesn't get it. He's actually going straight for the 3rd town center as well behind all of this. The only thing is that Ulysses hasn't needed to do anything to really defend in this game. He's just had to build his heroes, which he already really want to do, and that's it. We see the walls coming down here for Shelty as well, going to be preventing villagers from sneaking out here, grabbing this hunt. Very smart play here. Very strategic idea from Shelty. We'll see if it's going to work or not. Having this town center up first will mean that the villager deficit that Shelty's in right now is going to get minimized in about a minute, as he will come over here, break down this wall, look for something to attack. There's not really anything out here at the moment, as we are seeing the archery ranges come down. I would like to see Shelty stop building hoplites completely here and throw down some stables. But he's going for archery ranges here, which I don't know if you know how I feel about archery ranges, but I feel like you shouldn't build archery ranges in this matchup. because your opponent's got all the advantages here in Toxotes, and you won't find any advantage there as Shelty does move forward. We'll see those Toxotes here. We'll need to retreat back. Not paying attention just yet. Going to be losing a couple of hoplites here for that misstep. This is a kind of a big problem that Shelty kind of has here, is he likes to move forward his army without looking at it. I've noticed it a little bit there. If you can catch him out, it's really, really good. As we see this wall coming up, the Jason going to be trying to get some, well, he's not going to be able to retreat back, but we'll see the wall coming through as the Jason's going to fall. We see some Toxotes starting to come through now for Shelty. He's got himself that third town center. The villagers coming through. Oh, Elephant gets a kill there. Brutal, absolutely brutal by that Elephant. As it looks like Ulysses trying to push back out here. We see a stable coming up as well, as the second archery range going to be coming through, as this wall wants to be broken down here. As Shelty, he's very far behind in the population. He's got a lot of catching up to do, as the villagers are probably going to have to be pulling back. There's a lot of hunt over here and over here that he could sneak, but right now these villagers are going to be pushed off of that hunt. He's got an elephant over here he can eat as well, as that's exactly where he's going to be moving to, as the army can kind of sit underneath this location here and try and fight back a little bit. The Minotaur still alive for Ulysses is really, really big here. As now the army moving around, searching for these villagers here. As it, look at this, Shelty doesn't see it. Well, he does see it a little bit, but he's not paying attention over here. As now the army going to be getting taken out on this position. Beautiful play here from Ulysses, as he is getting a huge amount of damage now done onto Shelty's economy here. This is good. Well, I mean, Shelty's got a lot of food at this moment, so he will be bringing his villagers back here and taking this fight ever so slightly, as the Toxotes getting some good damage done over here. The villagers only lose one there, and Shelty is now equal on the villagers. He's now getting closer on the population as the army's going to be retreating back here. We will see this Ajax getting caught out of position as well. More Toxotes moving in onto this position, going to try and take out the Jason over here, as the Hippocon coming through over onto this position. Shelty going to have to retreat back here, getting caught out yet again. As somehow, someway, on two town centers, Ulysses is managing to make this work here. As Shelty just a little bit too slow. He's got lots of resources in the bank here. Feel like he needs to just spend all his resources to maintain control here. Because look at all the farms that are up for Ulysses. This type of situation, I don't feel like it should happen here, because while Shelty has built that third town center and spent 700 resources on that, if you take a look at this, he's got 10 farms here, basically, almost 10 farms. Farms in the main base as well. He's got 2 farms in the main base. So that's 750 resources that he spent on that. So in essence here, Shelty should be equal at population, and he just hasn't spent his resources, and now the resources are a little bit lower than otherwise, and that's just kind of how it works. You need your military buildings down. You got to spend them immediately. You got to macro perfectly in this level of the game here. It's now the Toxotes are managing to get a little bit of fire over here. We do have ourselves 13 Toxotes to 11 though. So that's a big win over there as the hoplite started to come through. We do have stables coming up. Shelty just needs to sit underneath his towns, and a garrison at the moment. It doesn't really matter. He doesn't need to fight. He needs to get to full population. Ulysses, on the other hand, might need to figure out how he's going to deal with the fact that he doesn't have a town center here, a third town center. So maybe Heroic Age wouldn't go astray, as his farms coming up all over the place here. Ulysses is kind of known for having ridiculous amounts of APM, but he just needs to he needs to put just a little bit more time into making these farms look pretty. It doesn't matter that much. You don't get that many more resources, I guess, but over the course of the game, it does end up mattering, in my opinion. As we do see medium Toxotes coming through here. We've got 14 Toxotes to 14 Toxotes now, though, so Shelty has managed to catch up. He's at 127 to 145 population. He has been kind of pushed off the hunt over here. He could move back over onto those elephants, move into the corner. We have seen the villagers sneaking through onto this location over here to grab some hunt as well themselves, which is what Shelty wanted to defend and prevent. Farms coming down for Shelty as well. He's finishing up on his herdables over here. This is not what you want. If you're going this for Shelty, he wants to be hunting here. There's plenty of hunt remaining on the map, and for me, with this strategy from Shelty, it's vitally important that you don't farm at all here. as the army does manage to push Ulysses back here, sniping down some units over here. He should be trying to pull those Hippocon back here ever so slightly to get his Toxotes some damage done. He does manage to do that kind of nicely there as Ulysses pulls back into his main base. We are seeing Aphrodite now coming through for Ulysses. That's a surprise here. I would have expected to see Underworld from Ulysses in this matchup, as the army pushing through here for Shelty, going to take a handful of units down here as well, as the army pulls back into the main base ever so slightly here. Toxotes pushing in to get a little bit of damage done, as the Hippocon going to be pulling back here, as Shelty just needs to kind of think about retreating here. He does have to, well, he does have a little bit more of an advantage here in terms of restoration is such an important god power. He just wastes it. He just wastes it. He absolutely wastes it as Ulysses just simply retreats back, and his army, look at his army, is mostly all full HP anyways, as this wall over here going to get broken down. We do see Shelty going to turn around here. We could see Ulysses just throw his own restoration down, but he's about to have Curse to throw in onto this position over here, as the Chiron also being incredibly annoying, just moving back and forth. There's the Aphrodite coming in. Curse gets dropped down. Population drops down to 125 or 145 as the army has to retreat back here. And he is very much going to be sad here at this point. Shelty is, because Ulysses is going to head straight to the Mythic Age behind all of this as well. And look at that, he's already got the resources for it. The market getting thrown up immediately. And I think Earthquake here is going to be a completely fine thing to do here for Ulysses. He can easily take this location out. Now, one thing that I think a lot of Greek players don't, or some Greek players do really, really well, but a lot of Greek players don't do well, is around your town centers. Well, one, you need to get masons, but two, you need to just spam military buildings. Shelty's got 1,200 resources in the bank. If he just builds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more military buildings around this town center, he's not going to lose it to an earthquake. Same thing for this location over here. And it's also why it's vitally important to build your farms really nicely, because then you can throw the buildings around the outskirts of your farms to protect your farming villages there, as well as protect your town center from an earthquake. As the army sneaks through onto this location, Artemis is now 40% of the way through. Apollo coming through now for Shelty, as well as Ulysses going to be pulling back here, and we'll see how the chase is going to go here, as well as the army now for Ulysses dropping a fortress onto this location. Love that play. Going to be able to go immediately into Heliopoli here, as we see a 4th town center coming up for Shelty. I don't know, that might work because Shelty's now at 80 villages. Going to get himself out a little bit more population. We do see Masons coming through. No, do we see Masons fortified town centers though? Does he have the resources for it? Not really just yet. As the, do we see a Petropolis coming through? No. As the Odysseus able to take a lot of damage off of that Nemean line there as it is retreating back. Currently the Toxotes of Ulysses doing just too much damage here to Shelty, and this is another reason why I say just don't build Toxotes in this matchup. Just pure Hippocon. Just go pure Hippocon. Athena Hippocon would have been so strong here. Just do see a Petropolis coming in. That's going to be able to help make sure the town center falls, even if the town center lives here after all the damage is done, which I don't think it will be happening, as it does go down all the buildings. Building's not going down here though, as Shelty has to pull back. We do see a fortress coming down on this position over there as well, as Shelty here. The question is, will Hephaestus be enough here for Shelty to beat the Artemis late game of Ulysses? That's the big question. Or should Shelty go for Hera here to take out an entire army and keep the pressure up? Is the big question. As the Chimera coming through here, we do have a Jason over here to deal with this, but the Chimera is going to get a little bit of damage done, as the Toxotes is trying to deny this one over here. Not going to quite be able to do that, as some villagers do end up getting picked off of that location there. Shelty with the idle Jason over here needs to bring that one back. As the Petropolis going to be taking this down, Shelty does have a marker getting thrown up over on this location. He's still trying to pump out units as fast as he can. Needs to throw more military buildings down as well in a very, very difficult position over here as the army does. Oh, that Chimera there does so much damage. The other one picks up all the Toxotes as Shelty is now down to 86 population here. I think you have to go Hera now at this point. Alternatively, you're there is actually an option here to go Hephaestus, drop down to 2 town centers, sit in your main base and underworld the back of Ulysses to try and make that work here as an idea. We'll see if that's what Shelty's going to do. His market is now up. We're taking out the town center here. Is he going? What is he doing here? It's so disgusting. Shelty's village is getting absolutely totaled here as the Heliopoli rolling in onto this position. Shelty is in absolute complete disarray. He does click up through Hephaestus now. The village is going to try and take down this town center over here. See the villagers getting this fortress up over on this location as well. Military buildings coming down in the main base. We see archery ranges. Just stop building archery ranges. Fortress, Heliopoli is everything at this point as this town center is going to get torn down so absurdly fast. Double Chimera here to support the Heliopoli here as the villagers pop out. Just Ulysses is going to bring his Chimera in with just a good micro there from Shelty, keeping his villagers alive for the time being. But it does look like Shelty realizes he needs to sack this town center in the end. But the Chimera say, no, you guys are not making it out here as they both burnt down so many villages there. As Ulysses, look at the score differential right now. It's such a big advantage for Ulysses moving forward here. Shelty moves down to 61 villages at this moment here. The catapult, the Petropolis and the Heliopoli pushing through this town center right now as it does go down there. Beautiful play from Ulysses as he is going to be pushing for the win in this game. The Chimera roasting villagers left, right, and center. They both hit those, but they don't quite get the kill because they're all kind of full HP there as the villagers going to be pulling back into the main base. Hephaestus is at 80% through right now as the Heliopoli rolling into the main base of Shelty. Shelty's got to be very careful about this. He's starting to lose houses everywhere. 79 of 130 population. The town center coming up over here for Ulysses as the town center, as the temple going to get taken down. We will be seeing at least one Colossus coming out here for Shelty at this point. As he gets that Colossus out, we see him dropping the Plentyvault on the back of his base. We've got the armory coming up as Shelty is just trying desperately to just be as greedy as he possibly can to get his technologies out so he can possibly try and make a comeback in this game. These Toxotes trying to make their way back into the main base. Do we see a Bellerophon coming out? Yes, we do. But one Bellerophon versus the world here, as it were, as the Perseus is going to immediately snipe down the Colossus over there. Shelty getting absolutely totaled in this game. What else can he do? He gets the Bellerophon out. Going to attempt to micro this one. This is game point for him in this tournament, so he's going to do his best job to try and come back into this game, but there's just so many villagers moving forward here. The Heliopoli doing so much damage. Ulysses can throw up a fortress here really soon, and in that moment, Shelty has to tap out. GG, well played by Ulysses. An incredible game here. Incredible set by Ulysses. Shelty also playing really, really well. Would have loved to have seen what would have happened here if Shelty put down a stable instead of that military academy at the start of the game, and then went into mass Hippocon after that instead of any archers. He would have had much better control of the center of the map here. Would have had all of the hunt, would have been able to get to the heroic age most likely first in this game, and that earthquake would have done next to, well, it might have killed him off, but he would have been mythic age. He would have been able to have access to Bellerophon. He would have had access to the Plentyvault. He would have been in a really, really good position, but because he had to build farms, because he got pushed back so hard from going in with Toxotes and not really having the army out to deal with the enemy Toxotes here, losing a whole bunch of units here willy-nilly, Ulysses managed to make it work here and clasped the game here, clasped the victory. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Bye.